So here's a strange question for you. Are Barcelona a team in transition? It seems impossible that we're asking this of a club that still has Lionel Messi. But after a season in which they failed to reach any great heights under Luis Enrique, and with a new coach at the helm, is this season exactly that for Barcelona? So there may be changes, and let's look at their 11. There will of course be plenty of familiar faces in this side, but we've also played around a little bit and included some new ones. Let's take a look. Let's start between the posts, where initially there shouldn't be any changes. You get the feeling that, while Marc-Andre ter Stegen might be still a little bit off convincing every Barcelona fan of his at times individual approach, he is still hot favourite to start the season where he ended it in the first 11. Ter Stegen was the man for Luis Enrique, with perhaps his delivery viewed as his greatest strength. We're all waiting, of course, to see just how Ernesto Valverde builds his own Barcelona team. But, shock aside, the German should get the first opportunity ahead of Dutchman Jasper Cillessen. We'd keep an eye on this position, however. How Valverde deals with two players with designs on the #1 position could be worth watching. And now to the defence in front of ter Stegen, where we see our first new face. Alex Vidal was brought in by Barcelona in 2015 for a decent price of £16 million, but his initial unavailability due to the club's transfer ban, then subsequent struggle with injuries, meant Sergio Roberto and even Javier Mascherano had to spend time at right back last season for Barcelona. Then of course, there's Douglas, but he'll have to be content with spending more player time than play time with his Barcelona teammates. So we believe that gives new signing Nelson Semedo a clear run at this position. Semedo's star rose after he broke through at Benfica, leading to a £26 million move this summer. Strong in the tackle, but also possessing a fine pass, 23-year-old Semedo has a chance to make right back his at Camp Nou for some time to come. Let's see how he fares. And now to left back, where we do see a more familiar face. Handy backup Lucas Digne should stay just that this season, leaving the position for Jordi Alba to take once more. Alba may have his critics. For a defender, he's actually not the strongest of tacklers, but he had a solid enough season in 2016-17 and is unlikely to be challenged here. So let's leave him where he is. Speaking of leaving things where they are, we've got a settled partnership in the heart of Barcelona's defence. Piqué is up first, and it's hard to believe he is still just 30, having now around 400 appearances for Barcelona across all competitions since returning from Manchester United in 2008. As well as still being a fine defender, Piqué also embodies the spirit of the Catalan side and is forthright in his views, especially when it comes to winding up Real Madrid. Check out his reaction to Ronaldo's offside goal against Bayern Munich in the quarterfinals of last season's Champions League. That the tweet drew a response from Sergio Ramos, perhaps almost the mirror image of Piqué at Real Madrid, tells you all about what 3 small bloody dots can do in the right context. So to his partner, who's a little less outspoken, but no less effective. Samuel Umtiti did not arrive at Barcelona on the cheap last season, for £21 million from Lyon. By the end of the season, however, he had emerged as Barcelona's best value buy for some time. Strong and confident with the ball and a great reader without it, the 23-year-old looms as a fixture in this defence for some time. Piqué and Umtiti will be ably supported by veteran Mascherano, with Brazilian prospect Marlon a chance to see some time this season as well. Jeremy Mathieu has, of course, headed to Sporting Lisbon after a Barcelona career that somehow spanned almost 100 appearances. And of course, somewhere around the club is poor old Thomas Vermaelen. But he hasn't been sighted for a while, so we don't take him into serious consideration here. Sorry, Tom. So that's the defence. What do you guys think so far? Feel free to get angry in the comments. We're a little bit weird like that. But now to the midfield 3, a department that has had some star names over the seasons for this club and still does, which is where we start. Andres Iniesta is now 33 and may have lost both a yard of pace and a bit of hair. To be honest, that's about it though, with the veteran Spain international and Barcelona captain still among world football's finest players. Now, Iniesta's contract situation was a little bit up in the air when Valverde arrived, but they seem to have sorted that out. However, the club might still want to nurse him through certain stages of the season. Iniesta's 37 games in all competitions in 2016 was his lowest of any campaign since the 2003-04 season, when he was still finding his way among Barcelona's galaxy of stars. Part hard man, part defensive linchpin, Busquets has been crucial to allowing the attacking instinct of Barcelona to shine for seasons now. With over 400 appearances for the club, the 29-year-old should remain as important as ever for Barcelona, giving Real Madrid the shits in the process. But the big question is now, who completes this midfield trio? It seems the job might be too much for Sergi Samper, Sergi Roberto and Rafinha, although they are all likely to get some time over the campaign. One tier up, we have the likes of Denis Suarez and Andre Gomes, both in their early 20s, but both have struggled to make their place their own when offered chances in the 2016-17 campaign. Then we have Arda Turan, who has never really settled at Barcelona and might be better off following up rumours linking him with a new club. Finally, there's Ivan Rakitic, who comfortably played the most minutes here than any of his other rivals for the place. But the 29-year-old was not without his struggles last season, falling out of favour temporarily and being linked with Manchester City. His future at Barcelona continues to be of some debate, so we're actually going to introduce a new face here. No, it's not Marco Verratti, despite his links to Barca. We believe things might be a bit testy between his club PSG and Barcelona for some reason at the moment. Instead, we're going to go with another France-based player in the shape of Jean-Michel Celli. The 26-year-old was superb for Nice last season and had seemed close to a Roma move earlier in the summer. Yes, Nice have pretty much rubbished any speculation about this player, but you guys know we like to play around a little bit in this show, and his ability to guide passes and through balls around midfield should suit Barcelona perfectly. Arsenal have also been linked with the Ivory Coast international, so how long Nice's resolve holds remains to be seen. But with the question marks over Barcelona's current candidates, we like the look of someone like Seri right here. So that's the midfield. Now let's get to the part of the pitch where the biggest Barcelona stars lie in wait, the attack. There will be no mystery about the man to lead it, with Lionel Messi going into his 14th season at the club with no signs of slowing down. Despite 54 goals in 52 appearances last season, let's just read that again, 54 goals in 52 appearances, Messi will not be happy with Barcelona's 2016-17 campaign, so we expect him to tear into things under Valverde. Then there's Luis Suarez. Now 30 but still as good as irreplaceable, we're sure he'll be eager to dig his teeth into the challenges under the new coach. Get it? A bite joke? Yeah, it was pretty shit. Now for the final place, and here is where things get really interesting. Neymar is, of course, the man here, at least if Barcelona have their way, with his at times seamless combination with Messi and Suarez helping make MSN such a delight to watch. He's also insanely skilled, of course, so Barca have unsurprisingly stood firm in their efforts to keep him at the club. But what if they fail? It's almost unthinkable to see Barcelona without Neymar. But that's what the rumours are saying, so let's talk contingencies. Within the squad, options are limited. Paco Alcácer cost a whopping £25 million, but appears worth only half as much. This is a guy who waited until February to open his account for the free scoring club in his debut campaign. That's Barcelona. How does it take until February to score for that club? La Masia graduate Munir El Haddadi, if he is to stay with the club, is unlikely to get more than a few minutes here and there. And we hardly believe Gerard Deulofeu will be starting every week. So we predict a new face if Neymar does indeed depart. Barcelona have been linked with Paolo Dybala. Now Messi, of course, does have some say in the transfers that Barcelona makes. Messi would also know the Juventus man would go some way to replacing the quality Barca would lose from Neymar. And the funds the club would receive in the wake of the Brazilian's departure would be enough to sign Dybala, even despite his own heady price tag. But as good as Dybala is, and as great as he's going to become, we put one player ahead of him, Philippe Coutinho. The Brazilian has been someone linked with Barcelona for some time, and you can see how easy he'd fit in thanks to his class, talents and bag of tricks. He'll not be easy to get, of course. Jurgen Klopp loves him, the Kop love him, and Coutinho feels pretty good about life at Liverpool too. It's just one big love-in for the Brazilian at Anfield. But would Barcelona be the club to turn his head? Coutinho has a contract until 2022. Still, numbers like £150 million seem a bit excessive, although he'll certainly come at a big price. What might be important is Coutinho's desire to stay or go if Barcelona come calling. And it may be hard for the 25-year-old to turn down. So there you have it, guys, a big season ahead for Barcelona. That's how we see a potential 11. Some familiar faces and also a few new ones thrown in. Let us know what you think. We'll see you next time. La Masia graduate Munuya, oh Jesus, worth waiting for.